smaller image, like this. Here's the splash screen and here's our plane. Let's see if I can find a populated server. It might be difficult. Probably we're going to play multiplayer first since it's so early in the morning. But it depends mostly. Okay, we could get lucky. I'd like to also play, of course, the Bodenplatte content, which is my last purchase in this game. Only recently came out on Steam, as some of you kindly pointed out. Actually, it was possible to buy it already on the website, but I didn't know it. I thought you could only activate that standalone. As actually they had told me via mail when I contacted the developer, but it was many months ago, probably it was changed. Let's see what we have in the server department. 15 people on combat box. 15 people. Let's do that second. Probably some more will connect during the morning. Should be able to keep the stream going for a bit longer also today, like yesterday. So the first thing I want to go is go back to the German campaign we were initially playing when I got the DLC with the Me 262, the German jet, which was produced in about 1000 examples and is an incredible plane for the time. And it's a lot of fun to utilize. Okay, let me check the stream, everything works, and we might as well begin. So this is Paul von Schleicher, born in a rural part of Bavaria, but apparently is also a member of the Edelweiss squadron. Yeah, it's the character we had created, and now is piloting the wonderful Me 262. And let's see how it was set. I want also like to do actually the realistic engine management, because that's the whole part that differentiates this game from War Thunder, and it's very interesting to do, and also you're forced to do it in multiplayer, so we might as well. Okay, it's already disabled. I also disabled the auto limit of the throttle. This is important for the German planes. They usually have easier engine management, but if you overstress it, you will break it nonetheless. And option realism. Still, I will keep the unlimited ammo, but let's put it moderate difficulty. Unlimited ammo is better for the career, because otherwise you end up limiting what you can do in a single mission, and that ultimately makes the waiting times longer. We don't want that, of course. So this is a mission for a ground attack over a troop concentration. Of course, it was one of the main roles of this plane during its brief use in World War II. So let's move the waypoint as always, and I might as well start the mission. I'll also clean the lens of the headset a bit, seems to be a bit dirty. That's better. That's better. Guys, stick with me, I swear, this game is cool. It's not at all worse than War Thunder. Probably even better in some respects. And loading up. The first time it takes a bit longer, then it's faster. I believe it keeps part of the data in the RAM of the PC. Here it is, our mission. Enemy troop concentration attack. I should also center the view, bring it a bit closer. Let's see what we have on this plane. The usual bombs, fuel regulating valve, gyro gun sight, I don't know, I wouldn't put the gyro gun sight. And the rockets neither, because the bombs are actually more accurate, whether you believe it or not. So let's go like this. This is a fast plane. We'll be on the objective in a very short time. So about the engine management of the Me 262, actually we haven't yet read the information. I believe it shouldn't be difficult, this being a German plane. But since it will take 8 kilometers to reach the objective, we might as well go and read. There should be a paragraph about it in the plane information. Maximum performance turn at sea level. No, that's not what I'm looking for. There is usually an indication of time, how long you can go for each mode of the engine. The German planes having in practice several automatic pre-configured state of operations based on how much you open the throttle, and they're usually limited in minutes for how long you can go for each one, but I don't know about this plane. This is different under many respects. I'm also activating the very convenient self-stabilization. That's, of course, it's a game element, it's not realistic, but it allows for reading of the information more while being more at ease. So max CO2 high speed, that's not what I'm looking for. The data provided is international standard atmosphere. I go and look at the mission from time to time. Doesn't say anything about time limits. Okay. The aircraft is equipped with 2 turbojet engines, Jumo 002. Well, if you don't know what we're speaking about, because probably you wasn't online the other day, I will also show you now briefly what we are speaking about. This is the Squalb, the experimental plane that the Germans fielded at the last part of the war. We're doing the Bodenplatte campaign, which means it's an operation they implemented as a last resort, trying to bomb a series of bases and advanced airfields of the Allies that were at that point invading Germany. So the war was mostly lost at this point, and it's also the interesting story of this airplane that was so advanced and yet came so late that in the end it didn't make all the difference it could have. But it's still an incredible machine and very interesting to fly, especially if you come from War Thunder, where everything is simulated but to a lesser degree, and it's much simpler to manage. Whereas here you have to keep in mind a lot of things, especially, as I was saying, the management of the engine, because it happens very often in this game that you do some mistakes, maybe not even so big, but they tend to accumulate over time, and then your engine just shut off and the plane goes down like a brick. So now, since I'm the leader of the squadron, I tell my friendly units to attack. No, I told them air target now. These are the gestures. Orders, attack the ground target, F3. Let's see what we have. I don't see any enemy planes coming, so we might as well go for our first run on the objective. It's a troop concentration attack, which apparently is in a city, and well, it's not really a big city. What is this? The town of Gelen, I don't know the pronunciation. They're also firing flaks at me, but apparently I'm much too fast for them to hit. Maybe I let the wingmates do the first run, so we see where they go and drop the bombs. Then again, they seem a bit inefficient, as they're bound to be as AI units. The city seems to have taken quite a bit of damage already. You see how much better the city layout is compared to War Thunder. The layout of the roads, the way the houses are modeled, it's really quite a sight to behold. And consider we aren't even at maximum detail, because of course in VR you cannot run it at maximum detail. I don't see all that concentration of truths, honestly. I'm also using labels. Okay, here they are. I have to re-enable them. Now I see the concentration. They're indeed quite concentrated. Let's go and drop some bombs on these guys. You can also zoom in this game, which is very handy. But sometimes things disappear for no reason at all. So now I don't know what I'm going to bomb. I'll just drop the bomb like this and see how it goes. And apparently it went pretty well, because you see they were very concentrated. There's a Tempest coming and it's right on my tail at the moment. So I guess I utilize the Awism energy of this twin jet engine and try to outrun him while going straight upwards. There's another one coming. There's a lot. That's typical of the engagements this plane had to face. There were so few squalls compared to what the Allies were able to field at this point of the campaign. And of course the Tempest is a terrible threat. I tended to underestimate it the first time I played the DLC, but they're incredibly powerful planes that have upwards of 3000 horsepower, and in some situations they can go actually much faster than mine, because the Svalbard has low throttle response, it's called, I believe, at low altitude. And now also I lost control, I don't know why. What the hell happened? It's not responding. It's not responding. Wait a second. Did I break something? I put it in pause. It doesn't seem so. Did I lose? No, I didn't lose Windows priority. So what the hell happened? Why it is not responding? Let me check also. No, there is something wrong in any case, because yeah, I cannot open the menu. Clicking the window again. This is unexpected. I hope it should work now. No, the plane isn't coming out of the dive. I have no idea what happened. And this is the struggle, you see. I should have warned you. There will be some struggle. It's not like War Thunder where everything goes according to plan. I don't know what happened. Probably the control surfaces of the plane gave out. I have no idea. So it didn't give me any kind of notice. Good thing we were still playing single player, so we can at least try again in a very short time. And that's the reason I were debating if it was actually the case, opportunity to go back to this much more difficult game, but I guess it was time. I want to make an attempt at least. I wish I knew what happened. It seemed like a bug, honestly. I don't think I made any mistake. It just stopped responding. And here we are back. Won't take long, I promise. Let's check the loadout again, same as before, and start again. Honestly, this sucks. Let's hope it doesn't happen again. Remove the pause, increase time compression. It also happened the other day, but it seemed to have more of a reason, because I was actually taking a very risky dive that time while the friendly units bombed the target, and maybe it was the air moved by their bombs that made my plane lose control, but this time I wouldn't know why. So I was trying to understand the specification of the engine while we do again the little trek to the objective, turning towards it. Engine modes. Here it is, maximum. You can go 8700 RPM, but only for 15 minutes. So where is the RPM indicator? Of course you have two of them. It's a twin engine plane. The RPM indicator, well, it should be the topmost ones, I believe. It says you can go 18700, so I'm now about 86, I believe. Unlimited is 84,000, like this. This is the power you can keep for as long as you want. And I wish I knew what it was in percentage. 84, well, a bit more. Well, it's almost full power. I'm at 96% throttle at the moment, so I guess it won't be a big problem. After all, it was a very advanced plane. We're again at the objective. Now, let's try not to do any strange maneuvers again, because apparently they don't work too well. Exhaust pressure. I should also read the technical notes. I'm going to do it later. Now we're at the objective, so this time I'll go for the first run. I'll also order into the wingmates to attack the ground units, so they leave formation if needed. It's F3. Better not press the wrong one. I wonder why the commander always sounds so angry when he speaks in German. Must be a cultural thing. Whereas when you hear the English voices in this game, they're so professional and calm. It's completely different. Let's chat with the aiming assist. I want to be sure I don't make mistakes this time. And I bomb the target. And let's go to the external view. Well, I definitely broke something. Now, what are we going? 500 at the moment. This is also a game where you don't have the convenient indicators of speed to the top left. You're actually supposed to look at the instruments of the plane. It's much more in depth, in a way. Well, in many ways. there you can see my wingman contributing to the war effort. I'll drop some more bombs since I have unlimited ammo. Now I'm closing one eye to aim better. Let's also strike the guys. And I guess bomb a bomb. Now I'll try to go back up because the tempests are going to come, I think. And as I said, the tempest is a big threat. Look how it climbs. It's almost incredible considering the age of this plane. It also looks like a spaceship, really. It's like something of Star Fox. You have the two bombs replicating the engines to the sides. It's very cool to behold. Here are the tempests. So let's try not to keep our RPM too much over 800 until it's absolutely necessary. But I think I'll have to attack the tempests from up above, because they of course stand much better than my plane, them being propeller driven and also probably better in many respects. It was one of the so-called Wunderwaffe, the Me 262, meaning a plane that in theory should have been absolutely devastating. In practice, well, it depends. If correctly employed, it could make a difference in a battle, even tide. But in a situation where it's outnumbered, like it almost always had to fight, well, it was 50 and 50%, let's say. And now it's already behind, and it's not responding very well to controls, actually. So let's go for a dive so I can accelerate. And now I am over 500. Unfortunately they're higher, but my wingmate seems to be giving them some hell of a time, and I hope that will be enough time to trade speed with altitude and put myself in a more advantageous situation. There's 1, 2, 3, 4 of them. Well, actually we have the number advantage at the moment. These are also very heavily armed. They employ the Hispano cannons. You know, remember the caliber of them, but they can completely tear me to pieces. It's going to be a difficult engagement, to say the least. No, but there are more. There's 2 more there. Look at the tracers from that thing. Even the tracers look menacing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of them. We also have a BF helping us, but a BF I don't think we will be able to do much against a Tempest Mark V. I honestly don't see like how such a situation is winnable unless the player can outperform, him being a player and this just a video game, what a real German pilot could do. I don't know if the Skvalu actually won this kind of engagement. In my opinion, once they bombed the objective, they just gave it the slip. They ran away. Let's try to do better, since, as I said, this is just a game. That is, if I can manage. As I said, it's much more experimental as a stream, this one, compared to the War Thunder content I usually do, because it's so difficult. It's a terribly difficult game compared to that, in every aspect. Dennis Armstrong. I like how he gives a name to the enemy, even though we're not yet online. I believe one is already maneuvering to get behind me. You see also how the sun is modeled. Here it actually blinds you, as it should be. War Thunder is almost an afterthought. You just have the floating big ball in the sky and you can easily forget about it. It's more like decoration, whereas it should be a great element in air combat, especially when you don't have radar or other modern devices on board. This is maybe the first chance to do some damage. Let's see how it goes. but it's a bit going sideways at the moment, so it will be mostly on how well I can turn, and I cannot turn well enough. Never mind what I said. Well, at least I'm still not in great danger. They seem to be positioning them on the other side. That guy, I didn't like how he was moving. I could also employ a bit of external views to make my life easier. No, no one's attacking me directly at the moment. It's too much above. Well, they're all on one side, that's probably better. What am I going? I'm pretty slow. Below 300, this is not good. It's not good in this plane, I'll have to accelerate again. I believe in a realistic situation at this point the pilot would retreat, and maybe I should try to, at least to a degree. I could try to get away and see how many of them follow, like in an RPG kind of strategy, to pull the more easily lured one and fight in a more advantageous condition. Now if I could only rotate the view, yeah, like this. Maybe I'll also tell my friends to retreat. Return to base is F7. And now I'm accelerating again at 500. There's one following me. It's actually faster than the Suvalvo, you see? That's strange. At low altitude at least they are. And that's a big problem because now he's behind me. Actually two of them have followed. So I don't know how it's going to be. Probably not well. But I have 500 kilometers per hour to expand, so I'll try to go upwards. He's not able to follow, you see. So I can climb better. And now he's in front of me. Where's the other one? No, he's giving me the slip. Gary Cole. And then it's Armstrong. He's starting to shoot. Let's see if he's so dumb as passing me. Apparently he is. And now I broke a bit of his wing. And maybe I'll break the rest. Seems to be having some problem to maneuver. I wonder why. Not that much actually. There also are these beasts of planes. He's still there, he still wants to fight. I don't see the other guy though. I wish he could turn better. Now he's going to give me... No, he didn't. He didn't shoot, that's good. He's also exposing himself apparently. No, not enough. Here's the wingman, they're coming back to base as ordered. They took their damn time. And of course the other guy that I didn't see was the one that in the end got me. One last try for this mission. Maybe this time I'll do it in the realistic way. I'll bomb the target and run away. That's what you're meant to do in any case. Then in multiplayer it's bound to be different. Of course, when you're playing against other players, it can take an unrealistic approach where you fight one-to-one, but in this kind of situation, I believe you're supposed to behave like a real pilot. Hi Israel, thank you for commenting. Apparently you commented the share and not the stream itself, so I cannot read what you said. And I will answer after the stream. That is, unless you want to write it here also. Okay, let's be more of a realistic German pilot. This time I'll bomb the target and run away. As soon as the mission objective is completed. And let's see if the tempests follow, I'll try to fight again, otherwise we'll fight maybe another day. That's also an important virtue of the pilot, as our new friend Kart yesterday told me very kindly. I wonder if he will show up. If he does, maybe we'll play together. So about the specification of the plane, what was I also reading? Well, the landing gear is probably nothing worth reading into. You can't maneuver the flaps while you have the gear out. That's also interesting. You have all kind of trim controls. That's already I knew. There are 2 main and 2 secondary fuel tanks. And you have to actually switch from one to the other. I'll have to look into the control for doing that. You don't have to reduce the mixture too much. You have to be careful not reducing it too much when you're at height, because it can actually induce a flame out of the engine. Well, I never touched the mixture control, so it's not bound to be a big problem. So let's bomb these troops and go away. 11 kilometers to the objective. And utilizing time compression. Kilometers now. They stationed on the other side of town. It's the southern parts of it. I don't think it changes when you start the mission. Indeed it doesn't. Even though this game has a career that's procedurally generated. So I'll do it like this. Reduce the time compression. And high speed bombing. 1, 2. I missed, apparently I missed. Let's see if the... Well, I completed the secondary objective, so I must have done some damage. Let's see if the wingmates complete it. I don't think I always have to tell them to attack, they will do it by themselves, yeah. That was just to make them operate more independently. And here they come. I'll also bomb again. Bomber. Look at the city looks so cool. Completely destroyed. Okay, what do we have now? Primary objective in progress. Well, I guess we'll have to bomb again. So my great plan of running away cannot be yet implemented. Already I see the tempest coming on the horizon. And I'm not referring to a normal storm, unfortunately, but the much feared. Hi Kira, thank you for commenting my post. As I said to the other person, unfortunately I cannot read the comments if you comment the share. You should try and comment the stream itself. Otherwise I will answer you later. And bomb. Let's see how it goes. Listen to the siren. Well, this was quite a good hit. Yeah, return to base. And I better. They're already shooting me, apparently. No, okay, it's from the ground. I'll be gone very fast. Now I'm also heading the wrong way, but I better put some distance between me and the enemy. Let's try to ask for cover from the friendly units. F4. I am the commander after all, and they got me. No, there was already one. Okay, guys. Okay, we'll have to make some changes to the mission configuration. This is probably unwinnable. I don't know about it. It's not the first time it happens to me. It's very, very difficult, that's for sure. So, restart this. Okay. Hi Nix, yeah, the bombing went well. Unfortunately, it was the rest of the mission that kinda ended badly. Yeah, 22 vehicles destroyed. But you see how hard it is. It puts you against so many Hawker Tempests, you don't know what to do. It's incredibly hard to manage. I was debating over whether streaming this or War Thunder this morning, but I wanted to try again. In any case, it's 10 times as difficult, even when you're against average players. Okay, now what I wanted to do was, well, I'll have to lower the difficulty, I guess, otherwise we'll be doing this mission the whole stream. And it was made from here. Easy. And maybe, that's here, the frontline activities are already scattered. Okay. Mission start in the air and all the rest the same. Let's see. That's good. I'm not going to give up on this in any case. Let's go for a different approach. Maybe from here. So we'll be quicker to return to friendly territory. What a game. What a game. Really requires an heightened state of attention. It's more like DCS in this regard. We'll also play DCS one of these days. Now it's giving us an advertisement for the other game. These are planes from Flight Circus, the World War I portion of Sturmovik. It's actually still a portion of Sturmovik. It's sold as a DLC, I believe. But I don't think it already has a career mode, which is a damn shame. Maybe they will add it eventually. Okay, troop concentration attack. I know how this mission works. Same bomb load, same fuel regulating valve. Shall we go for the... Well, let's put some armor on this baby. Let's see if it helps. Ah, did you? Well, today everyone seems to be playing the big new game, which is Boneworks. Was speaking about it on stream several times the last days, but honestly it doesn't seem that good. Probably it's what the index was made for originally, and yet it's so limited in its scope what we at the moment have in the VR space. Which review was it, by the way? From whom? Probably I've seen it. I watched quite a bit of them before buying it. And here's the troop concentration again. We should be approaching from another angle, and indeed the city is turned differently this time. So apparently, if we want to behave like a realistic German pilot, we just do one bombing of the target and then immediately run. But did a spy give our position to them? I don't know how the Tempest can arrive so quickly. Again, the sun is quite annoying. Seems to be divided in 3 sections, this city. Fairly big roads in the middle. Maybe they're railroads. I think this part of Germany enjoyed a fairly thriving mining industry at the time. So these railways were very important from a strategic point of view. I wanted the aiming assist, but couldn't turn it on in time. And let's see how it went. Well. The damage is there. The second bomb, not as much. Probably because it was the smaller one. I'll have to do another pass, I guess. I cannot trust them to complete the mission. Now I'll be aligned in a more advantageous manner. I'll also fire a bit. I guess, why not? And runs away. And now let's start to make a retreat. At once, since I cannot take the Tempest. Ah, okay, I meant you couldn't hear me try through the sound of the game, but it's good you can actually... Well, maybe you could increase the volume. It's not completed yet, the mission, I mean. Now it's a big dilemma, because I'm afraid you're not playing in the noon afterward. No, today I cannot. I'm sorry. I also said it yesterday, yes. It won't be possible. Regretfully. Now that I've started streaming, every time I cannot play, it feels like a loss, really, but sometimes you cannot help it. I wasn't able to frame the bombing. So what's the Tempest situation? Not Tempest on the horizon. Maybe they reducing the difficulty made the difference I needed. And I guess I'll have to go for yet another pass, because we're not destroying the objective at the moment. Let's do it, buddy. One bomb each. Look at his aim. The true concentration. Well, not so bad. But now I can go back to base and go to base immediately before the guys come. Because if 5 Tempests show up, it seems we won't be able to do much. Hi Rampton, thank you for liking my post. So now we're going 400. No, that's... It's strange really, why does it have 2 times 400 on the speed indicator? It's really... Must be a German thing, I don't know. But since we don't have the intercepting plane this time in this version of the mission, so there won't be any danger in that respect. I just complete it as soon as we're back in friendly territory. 13 kills this time. This is a really truthful representation of how devastating a bombing can be on the ground troops. I don't see it often in World War II games, since planes are a bit underpowered in that respect compared to the truth of it, or at least how I feel it to be. I mean, a bomb is a pretty big threat. You also have not just the explosion itself, but the, how do you say, the fragments of it. They could destroy a lot of unarmored vehicles very easily. Okay. And you still hear the news here in Italy sometimes when bombs are found that are left from the times of the war, and they have to evacuate entire areas of cities for defusing them. It tends to be a big news when it happens. We still have many bombs on our soil, half buried maybe, that people find from time to time. Okay, proceed to the next mission. And there's also a junction attack, but I wasn't in it apparently, so it's being calculated by the game's engine. And apparently it's also a success. So, but unfortunately 2 of my own wingmate actually were killed in action, probably during bombing, because there was no meeting with the actual enemies in the air. So, I'm sorry Lothar, Henrik, and I'm sorry Paul Gravenrath for being killed in action. We will fight for them also. Now, the new missions for the next day. Let's see what it gives us. Cloudy weather. Temperature, -4 degrees. Enemy airfield attack. Well, an enemy airfield. I'm actually in the other one, but it's the same as the one I just did, so I'll do the first one. Thank you, I'm the commander, I can decide my own mission. And I'll attack the enemy airfield. So, where is position? Very close to the city as before. Let's approach the situation. You see how they position the waypoint in a realistic manner, because in theory you should navigate without assists of any kind, so what the briefing is supposed to tell you is fly to Boncolt, then you turn south-southwest, and that's the logic of it. But let's cheat a little, otherwise every mission is going to take. Each mission will be 40 minutes. I don't want to do that. I want to show you more action from the game. And also I have more fun like that, so it's really my fault as well. And let's see how it goes. Actually now I hope to meet some enemies, but not in such great numbers. 5 tempests, you're basically finished in this game. Okay, next, bye. It's kinda, even from a realistic point of view, I believe this plane was a bit overrated. It doesn't seem to be as fast as you would expect, unless I make some mistake in the engine management. But there doesn't seem to be room for any. The German planes were very automatic, unlike the American and British ones. You basically only have to set the throttle, and that's also reflected in the technical information I was reading earlier. Here's our mission. Now let's put on our Med 262 the fuel regulating valve and the bombs, I guess. We're attacking an airfield after all. After this mission, maybe I switch plane. I want to show you the other planes. I'd also like to fly the American ground attacker, the heavy jet, not the jet, the heavy plane, the heavy propeller plane, P-47 if I'm not mistaken, that I didn't seem to understand very well the other day, but now I think I have a more firm grasp of its functionality. So this is our final mission for the Mi-262, at least for now. Let's make it a good one. Yes, the airfield. Still I see many targets. This is the main difference with the DLC in my opinion. Originally Sturmovik didn't have such big concentration of troops, maybe with the exception of some vehicle columns, but stationary like that I didn't see many. It's actually quite cool to see. They should be there. Now I no longer see them because it behaves like this. But that's not the target, by the way, and I just noticed, so I better not waste my time on these. The airfield is actually farther ahead. It's not that easy to spot an airfield in the snow. They tend to become a big stretch of land where there is absolutely nothing. As always, the visibility towards the ground in this plane leaves much to be desired, so you have to fly to the side of it and look at it over the wing. Okay, so it's an airfield, so I guess the main targets are the parked planes, and they're all parked in a very neat manner. Already my friends are bombing them. Let's go and help them. There's some ground artillery, which could pose in theory a problem. You see how convenient it is to be able to zoom. That's the big mistake, in my opinion, in the VR version of War Thunder. How could they disable such a basic and important function? I think I'll bomb the next line of planes, but they seem to be already destroyed. No, they're fixed. They're still workable. Well, they were. Are these enemies that I see? I better take altitude just to be sure. Well, now that I'm so almost stationary, it's not good to be fired at from the ground. And also they hit me, but just a little. Didn't do any lasting damage, it seems. You see now the sound changes as soon as your head is outside the cockpit. Actually, it's realistic in a way, apart from the fact that your head cannot pass through glass in real life, but that's also to be expected in VR. So the things I had seen, were they actually enemies? I look at the magical GPS maps. Apparently not. Apparently not, and the mission is also completed. Here it comes. I think. Well, no, it's still friendly. It's blue, I mean. I think blue always indicates a friendly in this game, yeah. It's not by faction. Doesn't work like some other games where yellow is always one side. Yellow, I mean red. And blue is the other. Indeed. But here come the Tempest. Let's try to shoot down at least one. We have the number now, it seems. I see 3 jets like mine, another 3 teams coming. The 3 I see are actually the Tempest. I also lowered the difficulty, by the way, so maybe it won't be as impossible as before. I try to accelerate to 300. Now 400. And get into the town. They're indeed less reactive than before. I'll go after the last one of the group. Accelerating now to the max. After all, it says you can keep it up for 50 minutes, maybe even more with this low temperature, before it overheats. I don't know if you get a notice of some kind in the game when you're about to break your range, but it shouldn't be a problem. We definitely won't fight for 50 minutes or more. We'll be decided by then. You can easily tell which are... Oh, they're shooting from the ground. Which are the 262 by the contrails they leave behind. After all, they're jets, I mean. Mr. Francis Stewart. Usually you tended to shoot, as they say, when you saw the white in their eyes. Now you shoot when you see their name. 67. I guess it's too much. How can that stupid propeller plane be faster than my superior German jet? Well, superior mostly in theory, I guess. Indeed it is. A low altitude at least, indeed it is. It's being followed. These are the other 2 friends, yes. Maybe I should go out like that. Well, this one is chased by 2 enemies now, I better go after them. And let's hope he doesn't end up also in the squadron's cemetery. Or should I say memorial, it will be hard to recover his body. If he falls so deep in enemy territory. And I guess now is our chance to destroy finally the first Ochre Tempest of the day. There isn't much he can do about it, completely wrecked apart. And maybe I'll get the other one too. They're a bit fixated on their targets, it seems. Finally the kills come. You have to wait for them sometime, but finally they come. Checking my 6. Well, you can also check your 6 via external view, which is much more convenient in VR. Let me tell you, playing so many games in a few days, like I'm doing now, maybe for the first time, tends to put a strain on your neck and back, because you have to always do these contortions, almost continually to look behind. And I guess it's realistic in a way. It really puts you inside the cockpit. But that's also worth keeping in mind, so maybe they're less nausea-inducing than many other VR games, but they put a strain on your neck. Okay, I'm finally gaining on the kind Sir Jack Reynolds. Yeah, he's completely unaware of my existence, it seems. What a jolly good fellow. The way they turn really puts into perspective how much overrated this German plane was. They do have the wonderful wing configuration, same as the Spitfire, which seem to give optimal aerodynamics characteristics to their planes, and indeed it did. Look at that. It's putting himself very easily behind me. I'll try to slow down, but of course it's too late now, so I'll brake downwards. Even one is a threat. Where is the supposed superiority of the Med-262? I know they're both following me. Let's hope the wingman isn't completely worthless. It saves my butt like I saved his a few minutes ago. My god, he's going to shoot. He's going to shoot very soon. Let's open the flaps. But last time I did, they broke. So there's also that. And apparently they do help, especially when you're going upwards like this. It's starting better now, even against gravity. Now they're completely down. I put them up again. And am I hitting the... No, I didn't hit the trees. So I guess this surprised the enemy pilot. He surprised even me, to tell you the truth. Was very close. And now he's exposed. He's exposed pretty badly. But I cannot go up. Too slow. 200. I raised the flaps again. I try to accelerate now. Okay, the other one is there. And I guess my 6 is clean. Let's hope so. Now 1 kilometer away. No, it's coming, it's coming. Much too low. Maybe, just maybe. He can accelerate better, that's the problem. Even if you can match its top speed, we still be a handful to catch him. It's Jack Reynolds, the guy from before. Lowering the flaps again. They seem to make some difference. Lowering the flats. Completely now. Yeah, maybe that's the secret of making this thing turn. The flats definitely help. I see our friend is having big problems there. I don't think he would be in there much longer. And indeed, he is no more. Another letter I'll have to write as the commander of the unit to a distraught family. That is, if I can return alive to base, which is now not so sure, because he's putting himself very well behind me. I cannot win like this. But here comes Jürgen going back graben route to the rescue and do absolutely nothing. Okay, there's only one last chance. I'll try to take a dive and hopefully, yeah, he's so bad as passing me, and that's maybe his downfall. Don't lose control at this altitude. Don't lose control. Okay, I tried it, but it didn't work. Still, I'm alive, so could be worse. This is the kind of fight you shouldn't get yourself in. Ah, indeed it is, yeah. Also, War Thunder is good practice for these similar games after all. Here comes Jürgen. Jürgen, do something, please. Jürgen! Why are you so stupid, Jürgen? Who gave you that plane? Okay, I'm still there. And undamaged. Some miracle, really. Yeah, Jürgen seems to want to scare them mostly and do nothing else. He passes by and never shoots. Maybe he's out of ammo, I don't know. He's going to die also, now he's damaged. No. 400. I already know I won't be able to escape. Maybe that one's exposed. I don't know what the other is doing. Let's try an attack, I tell you. If it works, it works. No, he's not behind me. Flaps. What a battle. 2 on 2. Wonder where everyone else went. They get him? No. It's too far. Out of range. I raise the flats again and try to accelerate. There's nothing much you can do. And now he's got my friend as well. Maybe the only survivor of the unit after this mission. I wonder if I get demoted. Now it's 2-1. Doesn't look good. Starting to look very bad actually. Even the odds. It didn't even the odds. What a fight. I'll do the same thing as before, it seemed to work well. Yeah, they're not very intelligent, these computer controlled planes. No, that one is out of range. I keep trying, but I won't manage, I think, to get behind that guy. But he crashed! He lost control and crashed! Look at that! Well. This is a great opportunity for us. Where is the other one? How could he crash like that? Maybe I had done some damage earlier when I shot him. Probably so. Otherwise he wouldn't have crashed like that. Where is his friend though? Wanted to look around me without destroying my neck. Apparently he's escaped. Well, I guess it's a victory, isn't it? For what I know, he probably crashed due to the damage I caused. And also I see there's many more above the objective thanks to the map, so I better go for a slightly roundabout route and try to return to friendly territory. No, but I damaged it, Nix. No, he crashed because of me. I hope to think it. And I guess I better... I'm also flying very erratically. Let's reduce... What is this problem? I put the RPMs below 8,000 as indicated on the technical specs of the plane. I'm flying badly. Wonder if I'm damaged. Doesn't seem so. Ah, the flaps. I'll have to raise the flaps. Yeah. Now it's better. You better remember the details in this game. And still it flies badly. I don't know. I hope it doesn't fall before we're back to friendly territory. That would honestly really suck. That's not the best feeling in VR. Maybe if I stabilize with a autopilot, yeah. Also overfind some truth. What's the problem with this plane? Not technical notices of any kind. Let's hope they don't shoot me. Apparently they are shooting, but didn't hit me. So that's all good. And we managed to escape from the planes above the objective. That was also Nix very much like War Thunder. The way at the height of the combat the enemy actually self-destroys and you don't get credit for it. It happens all the time, whether it's a real player or an AI. And as soon as I'm in friendly territory, I'm going to cheat and conclude the mission, because if the plane actually falls, as it seems to be very close to doing, that would suck. I want to move on. Should be workable. Now, as I said, I'd like to try a different plane, but I also like to try a different mode. Let's see if the server is more populated now. I actually had fun the other day playing on Combat Box, even though most of the time was spent getting to the objective, because it's so interesting to navigate completely without assists. Let's see if we can do it today as well, in a context where we have some players too, not completely alone like the other day. I got the honor goblet. Look at this. Look at this. It's not a medal. They give you a goblet in Germany. Very... quite epic, in fact. Kinda of medieval. Okay. This is my roster. Let's see how's the multiplayer situation now. There are even less players than before. 11 players in the Wings of Liberty server. I guess we're playing another couple of single player missions first. Unless we want to do some... Yeah, let's briefly duel. Let's do some duels in the quick action server. Then we go and play some more single player. Just to be unpredictable. I'd also like to try the Mustang. I haven't flied the Mustang yet in this game. Since I'm close to unlocking it in War Thunder, I'd like to test the thing. I wonder why so many less spectators today. It's either this game is less popular, or maybe they were playing Boneworks today, who knows. Seems to assault pretty well. That's a good question, Nix. I don't know. Probably there are Discord channels. I never looked into it. As you know, I'm much more of a lone wolf. Sometimes you see the full server and it's quite a sight to behold, because this is a game where on a server you can have over 50 planes, much more than War Thunder. But it's kinda rare, not many people own it. And apparently not many people watch it either. Let's go on the German side. What happened? Ah, the mission ended. Why does it always end when I join it? Okay, 36 seconds to restart. Actually, I think a lot of people at the moment are watching others play Boneworks. At least people interested in the VR space. You can even see it, well, not topping the chart, we're not at that point, but it's quite watched at the moment. And that's probably where my watchers went. It's got almost 2,000 spectators on Twitch, that's kinda rare. It's not something you see often, not even for all games, VR games combined together. But I don't know, guys, I didn't feel like buying it just yet. The graphics so barren. All you do basically is the usual thing. It's a sandbox mostly. Disguised as a true game. Ah, the co-op missions will rock. I don't know if you can play co-op in here, I don't think so. Okay, we'll be playing real players now. I'd also like to try the Jag again, that's what I wanted to fly in multiplayer. Either that or the Mustang. So I spawn here. And I see neither. Actually, I see neither. Spitfire, Yak, Lag, I-16, MiG-3. There was also the P-39, you see, the one that gave me so trouble. Ah, they're on this side. These are the newer planes, I think. Yeah, but I selected the German side. So go to the Allies. Here they are, here they are. P-47 and P-51. Let's start with the P-51. I haven't flown it yet. I guess engine management won't be much of a problem when we're playing in a quick action scenario. Additional ammo always help. Ah, you can use the better fuel, look at this. 150 octanes. Yeah, I want this. Of course I want this. Gyro gun sight and mirror. The mirror, you cannot go without the mirror. Ah, welcome back, Nix. We're doing multiplayer now. Just the quick action though. Doesn't have many players in the full-blown servers. And so we're aboard the Mustang now. First time for me in either of the two World War II games. This is the Berloga server. I've shown it previously on the stream. It's basically a team-based deathmatch, very closely spaced together. We just start and shoot away. But it's good practice really, because you have to play in fully realistic mode. You don't have any shooting assists, and also you have to identify the plane yourself, and that's very important because the identification part is the hardest one when you're playing online. So we're supposed to shoot planes from the axis now, which in this game mostly includes Germans and a single Italian model, and that looks like a BF, right, Nix? I believe so. Let's go and get us a BF. I'm in boosted mode apparently, probably has a time limit. And already I hit him a little. Let's see if the gyro gun sight really works well. It's supposed to be quite an improvement. What the hell? Listen to the sound of this engine, you can really hear how it's turbocharged. Sound design is so much better here than War Thunder. That's another great strong suit of the game. Apparently the BF is faster than me. He has something... Yeah, I wasn't running full speed. This is emergency mode, this is combat mode. You're supposed to keep the RPM at 75, I guess. But you can go up to... Emergency, 77 is combat mode, I believe. No, still emergency. And it must be 75. Yeah, you're supposed to keep the RPM at 75%. And let's see if I also have The turbocharger control doesn't seem so. Really seems to have a lot of lever and stuff. The cockpit of this plane is much more complex than the German ones. And I've heard that was the main difference, really. Some German pilots, when they saw for the first time the inside of the American planes, are quoted saying they were so incredibly complex. Everything in a German plane of World War II is actually set up on the ground. You get on it and basically fly it. Very much unlike Russian and American counterparts. British is more of a middle point, I think. The Spitfire doesn't seem to be this complex, but you still have to maneuver the radiator and some other things. By the way, the radiator. This plane doesn't seem to have it. Well, that's nice. One less thing to worry about. Does that look German to you? Well, that's most assuredly German. That's probably a Spitfire. No, that's not German either. It also looks Spitfire-ish. Never mind what I said, it's the same damn plane as me. And this one? This one's more German looking. But you have the American planes, it has become much more difficult to identify stuff, because, yeah, it's grey, normally that would be enough when you just have the Russians, but that's not German, I guess. No, it's not. I can see the stars on the wing. That's the jug, okay, that's the jug. Very recognizable. P-47, starting to know the numbers, you see, Nix. And it's being fired at. It's being fired at, but what I presume is indeed the enemy. Still don't have a positive idea. I guess that's the enemy. By means of exclusion. Now I blacked out. Of course I do. Well, I could in theory fire, but I feel silly really. Yeah, it's already destroyed. Too bad. Missed opportunity. I could have shot him. I wasn't sure it was an enemy. Another one over there. Let's try and increase the RPM for a minute just while I climb. Oh, but I don't like the sound. It seems dangerous. That was German, wasn't it? I saw the crosses. There was some flaps. That's definitely enemy. Being shot at by two guys. Might as well be third to the party. Yeah, I thought it was time to test it. I know you love this plane. You've spoken to me about it. Probably, yeah, he was already falling. Here's respawn. That's the jug. Ah, you even can tell which version it is. Well, you're much better than me at telling planes apart, as you can notice. It actually looks, my own plane, I say, it looks similar to a BF. Makes for much harder identification. Because the one I'm sure is a... Oh, that's German, right? That's bound to be German. Fire away. Did I hit him? No. It's the D5. How could you tell it's the D5? Doesn't seem that easy. Yeah, that's the enemy now, I'm sure. I actually started firing before I was. Let's try and trust the gyroscopic aim inside. Seems to do a pretty decent job actually. Now it's bound to be badly damaged. Still not falling though. Come on. How can you still be in there? Look at him. Sometimes you seem to be doing everything correctly and yet you don't hit. I wonder why. What a silly dance of death. Come on. Well, now you're smoking badly. I don't think you can still resist. Yeah, finally. Bye, man. First player kill of the day. We're actually now playing with other two people. The server has gone completely empty. So on this high note, I believe we can easily go back to single player, because otherwise we'd be almost completely alone. So let's see if by chance the combat box 1 has populated. Otherwise we'll play some more of the jug. Yeah, it was pretty fun really. 13 players at most. Vercingetorix mission, look at that. Well, okay, let's play some more single player, I guess. That was fun, but with 3 players on server. No, not the quick mission. And career. Now, the career I had started for the jug, I believe, was this one. Or was it the Tempest? Won't take long to check. Anthony Torres. So, what are you flying? Anthony Torres? He's from the US Air Forces. Yeah. It's an enemy troops concentration. But let's do the other one. The railway junction. I go back to multiplayer later, while hoping I can finally find a populated server. It's a shame really, it's such an always-on game, yet so less popular. Good thing it has at least a fully functional single player. Let's attack the railway junction. So we're heading the opposite way this time, of course we're on the American side. And unfortunately we're going deep in enemy territory. I say unfortunately because it's going to take a while to come back in friendly territory and complete the mission. I want realistic engine management, and I want the unlimited ammo, but I guess it's the same as before, right? Yeah. Accept and start. We'll be able to customize the plane once the mission actually begins. Especially in VR. I mean, in VR it looks tons better than War Thunder, because it has a better perception of depth and scale. You really feel it when you're diving for the enemy. But I think you remember me saying that already. Loading up. It's not even got its own category on Twitch, this game. If you go and look, Sturmovik, well, it's there, but it's almost always empty. There's a guy playing with 9 spectators. I guess he beats me. For today he beat me. Okay, P47. I could go and watch what he's doing. Where is he playing? Maybe he's on a server. Ground attack modification, additional ammo, gyro gun sight because I liked it, mirror, and that's it really. The 3 bombs with one big bomb. The one I always fly in War Thunder is the one with 20mm C-span with dollar fashion canopy, which is not good. I see. Why is it not good? You cannot look around as well, I mean. It's a canopy. Okay, here we are back in the jug. This is a very veritable monster of a plane, like a locomotive. You're actually supposed to maneuver 3 levers to set your throttle, not just the throttle one, but also you have RPMs, which is the lever to the right, and I set it on the keyboard. That's the booster lever, because the turbo of this plane is completely manual. You're supposed to maneuver it, and that's the thing I missed at first, and the reason I didn't like this plane, because it always went so slow. But you have to increase the RPMs of the booster as well, not just the plane itself. And now heading to the target, the railway junction. This also looks pretty nice as a plane. It's mostly, I had misunderstood it at first. I imagined it to be a turn-by-turn fighter, but it's actually more of a ground attack, multi-role fighter. I love how the pilot moves. Look at this. It's the only plane that does it. When you maneuver in certain ways, you can actually see him going ahead with his head. It's also very modern looking. The configuration of the cockpit, I mean, with the gyro gun sight in front like that. It's very well animated. And I guess I should also... Well, the engine of this is almost impossible to break, which makes it really ideal for long-winded multiplayer missions of the kind I hope to do towards the end of the stream. But also means we won't have to worry as much about managing the engine. I'll probably just put the booster lever at maximum once we're about the objective and leave it there. Doesn't seem to have modes also, it doesn't tell you you're in emergency mode and such. Too bad I'm covering the technical message as well. Let's raise a bit also the RPM. Let's say 90%. You never go 100% in this game, it's not a good idea. And the booster... okay, now I'm in combat mode. That's what I want. Let's raise the booster some more. 85. 85% booster, and I'm in combat mode. And let's start looking for the railway junction. I see they've already found it. Now probably my frame rate will take a hit. When you're fighting above the city like this, it tends to do it. I already destroyed the junction completely. Yeah, that's indeed true. Yes. Let's hit some target here. The power of all these machine guns. Well, I did drop the bombs, but I don't think I'm going to hit much. Let's see. I did break some houses, not that they needed breaking. I believe it must be a speed fighter in a way, a bit like the Corsair we were employing yesterday. It seems to accelerate very well. Once you start the dive, nothing really can outrun you. But this means, of course, you would have to gather altitude first, which isn't always easy to do. Now, for unshielded ground targets, I mean unarmored, the machine gun you have on this plane are devastating. It's a great number of low caliber machine guns actually, not a single big cannon. Okay, that was a useless bomb. Didn't even explode. No, okay, it did. Now, realistically, I think that would have destroyed the ground emplacement. Again, seems to underestimate the power of the bombs, as I said. He's saying enemy fighters from the northwest, right? Now it's nice, and being able to understand what the wingmen say for the first time, since we're Americans and not Russian or German. Northwest, he says. Well, I don't see anything actually. Let's see if we have some warning. No, I'm just in combat mode. Boosted mode engage. Not a big problem, I guess. Very resilient engine. It's already completed the objective. Well, let's go for one last pass. I guess I'll get that ground artillery. I might as well, because it's so much fun to do. Ground attack is cool in VR. You should try it. Feels very immersive. Look at the bullets bouncing everywhere. And it's gone. Drop also the bomb. No, completely missed. Okay, I guess we can start going back to base. It will be a somewhat long trek. We're a bit deep in enemy territory at the moment. And stabilize the plane. Let's get out also of combat mode, I guess that would be prudent. Here it is. All I have to do is lower the... this is... Also, I didn't even touch the radiator. Apparently it never overheats. I'd forgotten about it. But it's alright. It's working well. There's some enemy coming. Wait a second. I would like to do a little of dogfighting before we leave this place. So I'll engage the turbocharger again. Doesn't it put the plane? No, okay. It's now in combat mode. So where are you, enemy? Well, this time it's inverted really. There's so many and there's so few. I guess we could try and win it. They will be Focke-Wulfs. Yeah, I guess that's much. Well, that's a bit of a problem, Nix, because you see, the bombs are actually unlimited, so I cannot get rid of the bombs. That is, unless I have a jettison key. Let's see. You're right in any case. You're very right. Let's see if we have a button to jettison them. Jettison stores. Left shift D. Not left shift, left shift. So... and it doesn't work, it seems. Strange though. Why? Jettison stores. Ehi Zack, ciao. Perché no, Zack? Ah no, oggi pomeriggio non posso giocare, mi dispiace. Oggi pomeriggio ho da fare. Domattina se vuoi. O domani pomeriggio. No, I'm sorry Nix, I cannot jettison the bombs. So I guess it will be difficult. That's one good reason to not use unlimited ammo, I guess. 109 would like to know your location. What's that? Like a Facebook notice, Nix? It looks cool. It's so cool, this plane. A bit playful in its shape. Like an oversized toy that kills people. Go towards the France. I guess I won't use unlimited ammo anymore, because you're right, Nix, the fact that I cannot jettison the bomb is horrible. I hadn't thought of it, really. It's mostly something I used to do at the beginning of this game, because I wanted to reduce the downtimes, as I said. But when you consider the effect it has on your combat effectivity, well, that's not good at all. Effectiveness, I mean. It's not the Dora, right? The Dora is an higher number, if I'm not mistaken. Is that on the ground, a friend of mine? Looks very jug-like. Dragging low, you say? I would have thought the opposite. Let's lower the flats. Before you have the chance to tell me. No! Good thing he has shit aim, apparently. Or shift aim. Let's try and drag him low, like he says. What are you doing? What are you doing? Behaves very strangely. Oh, it's to my left. It's flying badly, really. Must be the bombs, you're right. It's carrying a lot of weight at this moment. Well, unfortunately, I cannot jettison them. Probably doesn't even have a jettison button. Why should it? I mean, you just drop them. That is, unless you're so dumb that you selected unlimited ammo. You cannot do it. I hit him. I hit him well. I increase the RPM another bit. Let this engine sing, man. Well, they appear to have been at the max yet. Already. It's very professional. The English voice actor engaging target. Maybe even a bit unrealistically so. No, I'm too slow now. I can no longer maneuver well. I have to accelerate again. You know what I like the most? How shiny it is. It looks like a Coca-Cola can, really. That's probably the reason they call it a jug. Well, yeah, they're not very smart, these AI flyers. No. Applying flaps at the moment. So you say we're more at ease down low. Let's see how it works. Apparently, he cannot outarm me as well as I thought. But still it's going to. And very soon, maybe because of all these bombs. Let's try and surprise him a little. Apparently it worked, because he's a dumb person. But still I won't be able to follow. Why is he going so... What are you doing? Be careful. Let's lower the flats further. No, no, you're right, Nix. It's the bombs. It's the bombs that drag me down. Doesn't make sense otherwise. Cannot fly this badly. These are huge bomb. I'm going to disable unlimited ammo after this mission, but for now I'm afraid I cannot fight. This isn't a plane. Well, of course it's multi-role. I mean, it's a multi-role fighter. But for it to do the fighting role correctly, it has to drop the bombs. And I cannot, because if I drop the bombs, even all of them, they come back. I will disable the option now. I understood the strong suit of not having it enabled. Luckily I cannot run them, or so it seems. Yeah, I know, but I'm not going to fight. Have you seen how I almost fell in the river? I mean, I wasn't doing anything crazy, and yet the plane went down like a brick. He's following me, by the way. Let's see how badly. Well, he's gaining. I'll have to fight, I guess. At least I won't have to fight, because time compression wasn't to my favor once again. No, okay. I'll tell you what I do. Now I disable unlimited ammo, and we do this mission again, and I guess this should give us a more interesting scenario. And also in the end probably easier. Doesn't make sense to fight with the bombs like this. So I'm looking now at the stream of the guy that was playing Sturmovik. Actually he's playing on Berloga like me before. There's no way to play on the more realistic server at the moment. There just isn't enough players. He's actually put it in the stream title even. No, but it doesn't just drag, it's so heavy. These are big bombs, you see. It's not like the small bombs you have in the other planes. They completely wreck your maneuverability. Everything takes more than one try, as you see in Sturmovik. Okay, now I restarted my ult, so I believe I have to abort it, yeah, because I'll have to change the options for realism. And I guess it's time to play with the big boys. Remove the unlimited ammo. Autopilot, throttle, auto limit, warmed up engine. For the rest it's okay. Accept. So now we drop the bombs and then we see how good this plane actually is in combat. That's also the reason I hated the plane the other day. Actually, I hadn't got the idea yet of how important it was to be able to ditch the bomb. Is he still on Berloga? Hey, there's two players now. Ooh, and what? And shit like that. What a title. And the other guy's still doing Berloga. No one's on servers at the moment. And load up. No. Load up now. Here you are, you see our list and send of base. Okay. Same loadout as before, except this time we will be able to get rid of the bombs. And that's bound to make quite a hell of a difference, I guess. Well, yeah, it was kinda anime sounding, I believe. But what's this meme? I don't know the origin of it actually. Maybe you do. The uwa ui. Ha! Ha! I love the rear view mirror. Look at that. I can even count my friends. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. They don't carry any bomb at all, by the way, and I wonder why. Am I the only one willful to do its duty? No one ever wants the bomb. Not even my friend Nix. And yet the bomb is important. B-47 are known to carry loads as heavy as a B-70. My god, when you put it like that, it's really in perspective. No, but you can see it. Look at the size of these things. How can you think to fight a dogfight with this? And they're bound to be also very, very heavy. I didn't read the description, but these are very high caliber bombs. 3 of them even. How can you fight with these things? So much more stuff to keep in mind. A true simulation. Yeah, it is. That's amateur accelerating the time to the max. It's so epic looking when you approach the city in Sturmovik because it looks more real. You see, the graphics is important for a game. That's the reason I ended up not buying, at least for the moment, Boneworks. It's mostly empty hallways with some objects in the middle of it. Then you add the enemies. The enemies are terrible. They look like the mannequins that they put in place while programming the game. You see, I'm speaking about Boneworks, a big name that came out today for VR. I mean, you have to give it a bit more style, in my opinion. Not just go and make. Yeah, the play system is probably the way to go. It's the future of VR gaming, really. But this is also the future of VR gaming, even if people not yet realize it. I think in the next years, flight simulations will return as popular as they once were. And now we drop the bombs on the troop concentration. That is, if they don't steal the kill for me. Let's say also not to go in the middle of the blast of their bombs, because the other time it worked very badly for me. And the bombs are away. I killed the last two tanks. That was a nice concerted operation. And now we're much lighter, and finally we can appreciate the performance of this plane. So let's put it into combat mode, which means increase the turbo supercharger to 80%, close the shutters, increase the RPMs to I guess 90, and here it is, combat mode. Let's see what difference it makes. Already I can see it maneuvers better. It's completely a different plane. Yes, now I understand. The legend of the Jag. Good question, Nix. I wish I was as accurate as you. Unfortunately, I don't know. I will tell. Oh my god, how did they manage to sneak up on me like this? I'll open the flaps. I guess I'll have to open the flaps. Also, we no longer have unlimited ammo, so I have to keep in mind that.
Rough man, 6. Engaging fighter. It's close. Out.
So this is the reason I hated the plane. Of course I did.
Rough man, 6. Engaging fighter. It's close. Out. Rough man, 8. Engaging
I
fighter.
follow Elmurt.
Close. Out. Rough man, 7.
You see what big battles you have in this game, Nix? Yeah, of course it's all computer-controlled planes, but there's so many, never happens in War Thunder. Is he falling? Yeah, I think that's my kill, actually. He's falling. Let's go to the other one. Single player still has a place in flight simulation, in my idea. $250. As these miles. They should be miles, I believe. Or am I? Yeah, it's miles. So 250 miles. Mission critical objective completed. That's good, I guess. But now we'll have to take care of the enemy in there. No luck. So close together and yet both escape. I guess I won't follow. I see more targets in front. Better keep them all on the same side. It's extremely chaotic, but I think it really was at that point in the war. I read about these battles. They were fairly crazy to be in. No. Don't joke with me, man. Still a bit unwieldy as a plane, though, It doesn't maneuver like a BF at all. But now it does maneuver, unlike before. Mostly went straight with the bombs under.
Rough man, 6. Engaging fighter. It's close. Out.
No, 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 no. What the hell, man? Everything went black. It's extremely chaotic indeed. To a fault, I guess. And now I lost even another viewer. Nix, you're the only one left. I deserve it for failing in such a way. Well, it was interesting, a learning experience in any case. Let's try it again at least once. Maybe I should try to keep my distance and only attack when I'm sure of making it through alive. Sometimes it happened for me also in War Thunder. Yeah, Nix, excuse me, I wasn't reading it. But it's kinda rare, really. Also tends to kill my FPS, but that's also true in this game. Especially while streaming. Why doesn't it engage the self-leveling autopilot? What's the problem? Okay, it's working now. And increase time compression. Already I see the city. That's indeed what I did, yeah. Got distracted. Wasn't good at all. Warning, do not open coal flats above 225 airspeed. That's something to keep in mind. They wrote everything all over the cockpit. Service this airplane with grade 130 fuel if not available. There's even a phone number. Very American in a way. You have to call tech support if the plane doesn't work correctly. You see, that's what I was thinking about earlier. It's, if I was on your 6, I'll tell you to break. No. I wish we could play together once in a while, Nix. Yesterday it was fun with your friend. Too bad you couldn't come. Let's schedule the thing. Tell me when you want to play War Thunder together. I bet we would have a blast. Log gear, landing gear warning light. Okay, that's the landing gear warning light. Such detailed cockpit. Okay, let's go for the initial dive and drop off the bomb. I guess that's the enemy. So yeah, this is a complex plane. Imagine a plane where you had to maneuver 3 levers just to set your speed. It's completely different beast. Why cannot I communicate with the wingmates? Well, okay, won't make much difference. I never listen in any case. So let's drop the bombs at once and get rid of them. We're here for the fight in any case. The fight in the air, I mean. Ah, look at the damage I did. Well, they're fairly powerful bombs, that's for sure. And now, let's get ready for the combat. Deploying flaps already. I want to go up, upwards, towards the sky. We have to try and gather altitude before hell breaks loose. I see fires. Ah, they're already here. I don't know how they get here. They teleported, I guess. They were nowhere to be seen, then suddenly you have enemies all around. That's a bit crazy to say the least. And I'll have to regularly check my 6, I guess. Already I have a guy, no, 3 guys on my 6. That's the level of craziness we're going to experience in this battle, so I won't fail this time. So, flaps deployed, low altitude. Utilize gravity to our advantage. Check the 6. They're not following it seems. Well, this one is following. And they cannot follow the other one, I guess. It would be suicide. But he didn't follow, okay. Got sidetracked. I'll go where the greatest density of friends are. There's only a friendly behind, good. That's very good. So let's attack the BF to the left. The G6. No, he's escaping. Johan Sommer seems to really want a piece of me.
Rockman 5, target destroyed. Rockman 2,
Good.
target destroyed.
Someone destroyed that target apparently. Well, two of them. Or maybe it's two guys reporting the same target destroyed. Wet warp. What is wet warp power?
Rockman
You will have
8,
to
engaging,
explain.
fighting. Close. Out.
In wartime it will run out. What? What will run out? Sorry, I didn't read your last messages. I'm a bit busy at the moment.
Rockman 6, engaging fighter. It's close. Out.
I think he's going to fall. Must be badly damaged. Tomorrow can be online. That's good news. Morning or noon? Well, you know my streaming time, so
Rockman 5,
probably also what I mean.
engaging fighter. It's close. Out. Rockman 3, engaging fighter. It's close. Out.
Ah, I see. Well, it's. I presume it corresponds to the engagement of the turbocharger that you do with the rightmost lever over there in this game. That is a bit more realistic. You're actually not limited in its usage, although I believe it should overheat at some point. Never happened to me yet.
Rockman 8, engaging fighter. It's close.
What
Out.
the hell?
Rockman 3, engaging fighter. It's close.
In race
Out.
cars, yeah, I think I got the idea. It's a nitro. Like the DRS in a modern race car. Let's call it like that. No, he got my friend. That blasted Johan Summers is the same guy that followed me earlier. Well, that one's far. I guess I can try and punish him. Ah, I was draining it. So it's when you engage the whip, the maximum speed, I mean, probably works like that. I don't know what it's meant to represent from a realistic point of view. Maybe the engine overheating. No. The Corsair surprised me, really. It wasn't that bad of a plane in the end. It seemed heavy at first, but it's more agile than you would think.
It's close.
Especially climbs very well. Very unlike this. This is... in the end, this is like an energy fighter that doesn't have much energy. That's how it seems to me, at least. Because it's like you said. You have to stay low, but the BFs turn better. Or at least it feels like it. It's more of a persistence fighter, so to say. You probably have to utilize the greater endurance of your engine to try and make a difference. Be careful now. And sometimes like this, you just lose control for no apparent reason. Good thing I didn't end in the trees. Did I kill the other guy, by the way? No, only damaging. I guess it was this one, the one trying smoke. That looks bad. And that looks bad also. I have to make the turn now. Make it fast. The city is really killing my FPS. Unfortunately, this is a fight for a city, so I guess it's unavoidable. Here comes maybe my chance. No. Does it have an ammo indicator, by the way? No, I don't think so. That's a German thing. Usually the German planes have it. Got the best of me again. Quite a handful of a game. Okay, I guess that's it for this mission. Not going to do it a third time in a row. Let's play another plane. Maybe from the German side this time. While checking again if perhaps now we can play multiplayer. It was instant indeed. I was completely okay, then suddenly, bam, one shot that probably got lucky. The snorting ball. Well, I like the nickname of the plane at least. Snorting ball. It's difficult to use. It's also another difficult plane. The Mustang seemed more familiar. Mission accomplished, by the way. Too bad I died. Indeed. Ward. And if he would be so gentle as to load. Wonder what it's doing now. Ah, it's loaded the mission again. I see. Well, actually it's warranted because I wanted to abort it. Now I have a strong desire to complete it, but now let's leave it at that. And too much of it will end up the same. So let's check the servers again. Maybe I'll go multiplayer, even if there's little people, just to go to a different kind of experience. Well, 20 player, come on, we broke the second 10. Let's try and be the 21s. The 21st, how do you say the 20? The 21th. Now, in multiplayer, as you know, is a complete different story. This isn't the server that employs the realistic navigation. You still have... Mustang uses dry web. I see. Ehi Simone! Ciao! Benvenuto. Sto facendo l'altro gioco d'aerei. Stumo, che è quello più difficile. Ok, guarda, per me va bene, possiamo fare il rally domani. Anzi, mi fa pure piacere. Purtroppo oggi pomeriggio ho da fare. Anche se non vorrei dover farlo. Mi tocca. The 21st. Thank you, Nix. Your English is spotless, as I said. Allora, cosa abbiamo qui? What do we have? Germany side has less players. Let's go with the Germany side. I never flew Germany on stream while playing online. And I guess I'll go. What do we have? Well, I might even pick the Italian plane. Come on, I'm Italian after all. Let's go with the Mach MC 202. You have to be careful with this one. The other day, the engine gave out without reason. Armored windscreen, no. No, let's keep it light. Con piacere. No, it isn't Nix, really. Also, your friend from yesterday spoke it really well. And I believe English is one of the languages of the Philippines. I may be mistaken, so maybe that's what he actually speaks from day to day. Okay, here we are inside the Maki. Let's read something about its engine, because I actually don't know much. And I wouldn't want to break it. Ah, you don't have the technical notices? No, you should. Here they are. Maximum top speed, maximum performance. Yeah, let's go with the Maki. Engine, maximum power boosted. Combat mode, boosted mode. You're supposed to never go above 1175 RPM, and nominal power is 2200 RPM. I'll have to remember it. Then what does it say? Throttle lever is inverted, backward full throttle, because us Italians like to do the things the other way around. Forward idle throttle. Engine is equipped with automatic mixture control, that's good. Automatic governor for RPM, only 2 modes. Normal mode, boosted mode. Also, it is possible to turn off the governor and control the propeller pitch manually. I'm not going to do it. No chance I'm going to do it. No trimmer. Ah, so it's like the ABS in that trimmer. You don't trim the plane, it's trimmed automatically. As asymmetrical wings, roll compensation, manually control, horizontal stabilize. Vabbè, no, the important part was the one about the engine. So the important thing is you're not supposed to go above 2200 RPM, I think. Yeah, there's a lot you have to read here. Now, what I was saying is the important part is nominal power 2200, 2200. Where is the... It's starting up, right? Yeah. Let's close the canopy. It doesn't close. I have it on this button, I think. Yeah. That's the easy part. I can close the canopy. Now, as you see, in fact, the throttle is inverted compared to how I move it. And now it's starting up. Okay. The RPM is automatic, it said. Good. I'll have to move the window a bit. It covers the technical notices and it's much too risky in this fully realistic server. Put it a bit more to the right, I guess. But bring it also closer. Like so. Should work. Is the plane starting? The plane isn't starting. Why? Ah, because I pressed the button 2 times, probably. The throttle is backward, yeah. Strange Italian idea. But it's backwards also compared to how I move it, because when I bring it forward, it actually goes backwards. So we'll eventually manage to start this thing. Have faith. The engine throttle, 26%. I keep the throttle a bit open, because sometimes... Ah, look at the brake. The brake is a button on top of the lever. Actually, you're braking when you push it down. And you don't have actual pedal, it's more like a ball. It looks like exercising equipment, actually. It's a strange plane, really. Maybe I shouldn't say it, me being an Italian, but it's indeed strange. We also have to keep an eye on the radiator, but for now, I'll leave it all closed. So, release the strange button, and wow! It's quite a push. Very much unlike the Russian planes, it's almost skipped ahead. With fury and thunder. I don't know if I'm actually on the runway. Let's pretend I am. Probably the runway was that one, but we have the space necessary. We're already in the air. So now I raise the gear. Oh, I hope I did. Yeah, the gear is that thing there. Never lower the flats because of course who needs them. And now we'll head for the enemy objectives, I guess. There's a tank column right to the southeast. No, I think the tank column is friendly, because I'm blue, apparently I'm blue, so the tank column is enemy. Let's see what we meet in the air. So where do I read the RPM of this thing? That's a good question. I see no engine indicators. That's the pressure of the fuel. Ah, here is the RPM. It's good that I'm actually Italian, because they wrote Giri on it. Of course, this was a very nationalistic time in Italy, so they tended to only utilize Italian terms. And we're going between 2000 and 2500. Nominal is 2002. Well, a bit less. So I bring forward the lever. They could have made it a bit bigger. It's tiny, the throttle lever. Good thing I don't have to look for it with my own hand. I can imagine. It looks like a BF, in fact, probably. In that regard, we must maneuver a bit like it. So now we don't have to maneuver, to navigate by sight. We actually have the GPS. That's good. And just keep heading for the closest enemy objective. Also maybe go a bit higher. Let's see how the flaps work. The flaps don't work. Why is that? Why don't the flaps come down? It actually... 100%. I guess they're not visible. They must be under the wing. It's peculiar. More Italian technology. Strange Italian technology. Invisible flaps. We was really ahead of our time back then. Yeah, I can read everything in this plane. Look at this. It says radiogoniometro. That's a very difficult word. Let's try and scout the horizon just in case something bad shows up. Someone is getting killed at this very moment, so I guess the enemy actually is in flight. He says he lived. Kingston Doll has been killed. Message. Kingston Doll, I lived. Okay. We're happy for you, man. So we don't have to trim anything on this, flies straight all by itself. The tank column should be around here, but I don't carry any ground weapons, so it doesn't really pertain to me. I guess I'll follow the line of the front lines while hoping to meet an enemy, which will be a bit hard because the server is far from full, but unfortunately that's the best the game has to offer at this time of the day. Yeah, well, of course, it's an Italian engine, man. They always sound good. Have you ever heard of Ferrari? Now my proud nationalism is coming to me. I feel very Italian at this very time, this very moment. I wish I knew more about this plane's history. I actually don't. Never studied much World War II. Even in school, that's a bit of a letdown of the Italian school system. I don't like the way your head is basically trapped inside the cockpit when you're playing fully realistically in this game. Watch the engine coolant temperature. Doesn't seem to be overheating. I'll open the radiator in any case. What's position I do not know. Of course you do. Who hasn't? I mean, it's the best car in the world. It's a guy named Usain, like the famous runner. Okay, I see nothing. I wish I would have been more surprised, but with 20 people on server, unfortunately, it's bound to happen. No, but I didn't mean if you had heard of Ferrari, but if you had heard the engine of a Ferrari, If you could listen to the sound, that's the joke. In any case, of course you are. There's nothing at all as far as the eye can see. So Mufasa, as far as you can see, it will be your kingdom, and also completely unpopulated, I guess. Yet there's a guy who actually has 65 points and 4 down planes. So I guess combat does happen on this server. Our airfield in the square 0920 is attacked. Which is the square 0920? I cannot read the number of the square. It's 3. It's actually... well, it's quite far. Might as well turn back. I mean, we're scouting for the enemy, could come from any direction. So we might as well head for the attack, the airfield. Could work in principle. We should really try to use the zoom view to the max. I'm looking for something to shoot at. Yeah, that's very much a possibility in wartime, but here with the big map this game has, it's also quite frequent that you just fly with nothing inside in any direction. That's a weak aspect of it, really. Maybe I shouldn't have launched this kind of mission so early in the day, but I wanted to make an attempt. And I think we're going to meet someone before the end, at least. Now heading towards the airfield that is under attack. We're overfly the enemy tanks, but I guess it's not worth to strafe them. What can you destroy? How can you destroy a tank with guns and cannons? It's the kind of experience you so often encounter with this kind of missions. Now when I run in low on time, probably I have another half hour. If really nothing happens, I'm going to play some more quick action scenarios, but our field of areas in 1419 has been attacked. 1419. That's much closer. I wish I flew in the same direction. It's the one I just left behind, and it's currently under attack. So I guess we should be able to see something already. Maybe there's smoke coming from it. Now I'm pointing at the warehouse. There's probably a maximum distance you can actually look at, and that's a damn shame in this case. It's on the bottom part of the square. But you can shoot the pigeons even from up high, Simone, because sometimes the pigeons fly very high in Russia. It's a specific species of Russian pigeon, which is called the Stalingrad pigeon. And there I see something. Probably it was the shiny canopy of the plane. There is something flying in any case over our warehouse. It's a very solitary endeavor. I doubt in war it tended to go like this, but I mean, we do what we can. Yeah, there's movement. Slightly above the lake line. I don't know if it's visible anymore, but very is with the headset. Now it's in the dead center of my aiming sight, but unfortunately it seems to have disappeared. No, I still see him. It's doing ground runs. Doesn't look like a very big plane. What is the ominous sound? What is this ominous? No, okay. For a moment I thought the engine was getting damaged. I would have waited, but unfortunately it made me lose sight. No, I still see him, above the forest. It's a bomber, of course it is. He's attacking the ground. Now, let's increase our RPM accordingly and go to make him straight. I wonder if I did lasting damage. I must have done something. Yeah, he's throwing smoke at the moment. He doesn't seem to be able to escape. So you see, good things come to this weight. That's a pigeon for you, Simone. That's the worst kind of pigeon. The one carrying bombs. They see traces coming from behind. Now also, of course, the front. No, but he's also going down. I bet he's going down. Ah, there was a guy behind. I think he's the one who got me. But look at this bog. Very black. Maybe the engine's even on fire. Still didn't score for it. I don't think that's returning to base. He's going down. He's going down. I'm not sure about it. I saw a swimmer put the chat between his leg. Ah, I understand what you say. It's not a bad idea. Not at all. Let's take off another time. Come on, it wasn't so bad. I'll take off from Vatulino this time. And I guess let's pick a different plane now. I'd like to fly the Focke-Wulf, but it doesn't seem to be in this map. Then I guess let's go with the BF. What do you say, Nix? E or F? Well, because of the delay, probably you won't be able to tell me before it's too late. I'll pick the BF. The F version. And no options. Nothing particular. Let's see if the bomber's gone down yet. In my opinion, it won't be able to return to base. It had an engine badly damaged, and the other one almost destroyed. Still haven't scored for it, though. I think Germans copied high-tech of Russian, says that guy. Let's try what Nix was suggesting. I'll put the chat between the legs. It's not bad at all. Even I could use it also in wartime. So you bring the chat more to the center. Like this. Then you have also to rotate it. Now I cannot read your Nix. Wait a second. It's funny though. As if he's looking at his assets. Yeah, a bit. I guess. But that is also war. You cannot think too much of the appearances. You have to do what makes you more efficient. Now I don't like how scared it looks. More like this. I'll have to save this position later. Ah, come on. I think this should work. You can also read it very well. It's ideal for... You gave me a great idea, Nix, as always. I think this is going to be my new way of using it. Let's also save it. Save it. You have to tell it new. And save, I guess. It's so strange, this interface. Let's call it Assets View. That's a very nice nickname from me. There you go. And I saved it. And now it's gone. Where did it go? Don't tell me you lost the settings. That would suck. Where are you? So apparently completely disappeared, Nix. It was a great idea, but apparently made the app misbehave. Let's reopen it. You have to be patient. Now it's giving priority back to the game, I don't know why. Now you tell him again you want to see the dashboard from Facebook and try the new positioning, the much appreciated assets view. Load. Yes. It's so big though. Why isn't it lower? Yes. Like this. Well, it's completely covering my instruments, and that is also not desirable. That's going to take the best part remaining in the stream now. But we better do it, I guess. We'll have for the next streams too. More rotated. And I guess also smaller. Where was the setting for the size? Save it in the meantime. The settings for the size is this. It's now 0.80. I'll go for 0.70. 70. No, that's transparency. What the hell? Now I'm also demonstrating the usage of this application. I cannot see the number very well. 0.57, I guess. That's like 47. No, that's actually bigger. Ha! Then I go 30. I like it. I like it. I like it, man. This will be helpful in War Thunder also. Let's see. Well, it's covering part of the instruments. If I lower it more, I won't be able to see it again. No, you also have to crop the top. That's the point. I don't know why it went away like this. Tell you what, I'll now play. It's a bit too transparent for my tests, but I can read it. Only look at the chat when you're not fighting. But I want to listen to what you guys say. Let's take off, man. It's getting late. Let's take off. I don't dislike that at all. Not at all. The famous assets view. It's a guy... No, it's an empty plane, actually. Now, when you're piloting the BF, the main thing you have to be careful about is not overworking the engine, because these things just shut off suddenly in the air. And it's happened to me several times. It's got nominal is 2300 RPM, combat power 25, you can keep it going for 30 minutes, but if you go emergency, 1 minute, bam, the engine brakes, and that's 2700. Ah, you can brake with your feet here. Let's go combat mode for taking roll. I don't know about, should have a key to unlock the tail wheel, but you can also steer with the differential. Very nice of the Germans to include a differential in their fighter planes. Okay, let's test it. You know, Nix, I also don't know that much. I remember reading about the difference between all the different versions of the BF, and I seem to remember the F is one of the best dogfighting ones, or was it the G? Whereas the other one was better for ground runs. I'll have to study more. I don't know the German planes very well. Look at the chat between my legs. Now we get to write on your cock. No, who said it? I cannot. Who said it? I cannot read the name. The style seems more like Simone's style. I'll go towards the same whales as before. Maybe the bomber has come back. Did I score on that guy, by the way? No, of course not, because why should I have? I only destroyed both his engines. It's a bit strange, really. It's very low. You have to get used to it, but the visibility is 10 times better. The F is the best version, so I picked the correct one. Good. The RPM. Where is the RPM? Okay. Oh my god, look how it goes up. It's this one. I guess we're 1100 about. So, as it said, no, you can go to 23. That's not the RPM then. Maybe it's the fuel flow. Ah, yeah, the one below must be the RPM. And we're about 22. Well, this is 22. Actually, you have to close the throttle a fair bit. 22 is like 50%. Let's increase also altitude. Maybe we can increase the RPM for a little. Water rated temperature in engine output 100, 102 degrees. You don't control the radiators in German planes, it's completely automatic. I hope, says Vitali, saying something then in Russian. But we of course cannot understand. This is a Russian Ronin. There is a masterless samurai. From the city of Moscow, I presume. The famous daimyo of Moscow, sometimes called the Tsar, who employed many powerful samurais until something went wrong, of course. There was some sort of revolution, I've heard, and Tsar demanded. You see the 3 bar besides the sight? Ah, excuse me. Now you made me put the window below. Now I no longer read what you say. That's a bit of a problem. The three bars besides the side. Ah, yeah, these are the ammo indicators. Yeah, I know about it. No, that's something I know. It's also the only kind of ammo indicator you have in this game. In War Thunder, you also can look at the number. That's very helpful. That lever over there controls the flats. I don't know about the big red button. It's a bit anxiety-inducing. If I was on board of the plane, I probably wouldn't read it. But it's also labeled in German. It says Streinung something. I hear a strange sound. Sounds like an engine, really. What is this? Ah, no. No, that's funny, man, because I was actually hearing a plane engine, but it's from real life. A plane is currently overflying my house. So, that's realistic, I guess. Let's check again the RPM. No, not about 2000, 2200, because otherwise it shuts off. That's just the way the Germans' engines are. You make a mistake, bam, it shuts off. Someone's been killed by a friend apparently, and also one of the enemy objectives is currently under attack. I'll keep heading for my warehouse. So no points for the bomber damage. Too bad, I guess. You see, this game would be so interesting in multiplayer if only they could make some little changes. I don't mean a smaller map like War Thunder, well, that would also help. But just to give us a more dynamic information about what's going on in the war. If you had some frequent... you only know about the friends. Sometimes it tells you when an objective is under attack, but it's difficult for you to reach it before the enemy is gone. I guess it would benefit for more unrealistic information provided to each pilot, so you could reduce the downtime and get more easily to the fun parts. That's a big problem with simulator flyers at this point, in my opinion. There are the people that only want a simplified arcade games, and then there are the ones that only accept the most heightened form of realism, and there's no in between. Whereas the in between probably would be the fun part. And it's always like this. You either play fast, meaningless scenarios or things like this, where you fly for hours. I know it's realistic, but it doesn't just make for a difficult game to stream. It's also not as fun to play, in my opinion. If you get completely immersed, if you have a friend to speak with, like I have now, it helps, of course. But still, all you had to do was to give us clear objectives and make all the people go in one place. Then you'd have the same type of cool battles we were playing before, but with real people. And maybe War Thunder does it better in the end, even though, in my opinion, this is by far the superior game. The dynamics, the realism of it, also the graphics is 10 years ahead. Well, also quite literally, since War Thunder came out so much ago. Probably don't want to disrupt realism. Yeah, that's probably the point of it. But it's a shame, in my opinion. It's always been something I thought about, even back in the day. And now that I return to playing simulators, I think it more than any more before. That's the enemy objective, by the way. It's a local warehouse. We might as well overfly it and see what it has. Maybe there's something we can strafe. I don't have much longer in the stream, in any case, about 20 minutes. There's a nice line of what I believe are container box crates, things of some kind that I believe could be vulnerable to gunfire. 110 on start, IFR 4 tanks. I don't know what it means. Our guy that shot the friendly now is highlighted in red. Let's try and strafe those things. Maybe I score some points. Also, so you do not fall asleep while watching the stream. Yeah, these are box or crates. I saw them explode. Let's see the score. 0 points. Maybe they will appear now. Sometimes it takes a while. I love the realistic sound of the engine whistle. Everything's realistic, and even the sound, yeah. The sound design, I was saying it also before, it's 10 times better. War Thunder is a bit lacking in that department. Oh my god, they shot me, they shot the fuel tank. It's like you said, Nix, you always have to check your six. I attracted the enemy attention with my worthless strafe, and now he's come behind me and surprised me and ultimately killed me. There isn't much we can do, and sorry guys. Well, the engine's still working. I'll try and resist for as long as I can. One aileron is gone. Two ailerons are gone. No, these are the flaps. The visibility sucks behind, I must say. Still flying though. Still flying. Let's head towards friendly territory. I cannot maneuver well, of course. I lack half a wing. And now I strain my neck again. It hurts your neck to play flight simulators after a while. Though, listen, I'm still alive. In my mind, I destroyed the ground objective. At least I did some damage to it. So if I manage to survive the encounter, it's half of a success. Too bad I cannot see the enemy. I started to think I was hit from the ground. Now, the return to base will be a bit of a struggle, I believe. The fuel pressure for the engine is very low. No, it wasn't an enemy plane and he came after me and broke the wing. Okay. Haha. That's the outcome I fear the most. Flying for a lot of time and in the end losing the fight. It often happens in this game. I have 10 minutes left. Let's go back to Berlog and do some quick fights. Maybe they will turn interesting and I will score a bit. 5 people, I will be the 5th one. Training my neck, I wish I could do it in War Thunder. Yeah, it's very realistic. But after so many days I played ours, it's starting to hurt a bit, I must tell you. This must have been a real problem with pilots back in the day. You always have to do strange contortions. Imagine doing it in the tight, narrow confines of a cockpit. That's another thing I learned from VR, playing these games in VR. And the other being that aiming sometimes is difficult. When you have a monitor, you just point the cursor and that's it. But align your sight to some kind of sights, especially the one of the buffalo, it takes practice, man. Okay, final combat of the stream. Who has less players? Germany, as always. Let's fly the Focke-Wulf. We haven't today. No, and of course I picked the Allies side. I would like to fly the Dora. The Dora is in the new expansion, but apparently it's locked. It's the D9, isn't it? You can buy it. Yeah, but with real money. Okay, I'll get the A8, I guess. No, yeah, this one. What customizations do we have? We have the Sturmjäger. Side armor plates and armor glass on the windshield side. For 85 kilograms. Seems worth it, to tell you the truth. And these are different machine guns. I don't know about that. Let's just start. I don't have much time. The reason why Japanese hero pilots wear scars. Oftenly white. Ah, for the neck pain, you mean? Maybe to prevent turning dead too much. Yeah, it's very iconic. The Japanese pilot with his scarf. Didn't also Porco Rosso wear a scarf? Well, that was, in theory, an Italian pilot. Yeah, the problem with the Focke-Wulf in VR is that the the sight isn't centered correctly. You would have to be really on the edge of the seat to use it, so I tend to calibrate a bit wrong. And now I don't remember how. No, you have to go lower, so it's finally aligned. Yeah, like this. I wish my neck extended like apparently the German ones did. Who's flying with his lights on? You see, this is what I meant when I was speaking yesterday with the Philippines friend. He said it. Uh, Lights are not very useful during the day. Probably that's true for War Thunder, but here you can see them very clearly. And sometimes they're used for friendly identification purposes. What's this timer? Don't tell me the game is ending. No. I'm speaking 5 minutes about the Focke-Wulf and now the game has ended. I have another 5 minutes, one of which will be wasted on restarting the mission, I guess. I should have gone quick mission in single player. Apparently I made a point. Well, that's from the last match. Let's see what they're doing on Twitch. I sure hope I saved the assets view. Let's save it again just to be sure. No, but it worked because I had it loaded. Yeah, if you load it, it's the correct one. Can go back to... This is the normal one. Put there. And you can go... Assets. Like this. Yeah, it sucks, man. Oh, I only have 5 minutes to try and get a kill in the Dora. Not the Dora, the Focke-Wulf. Come on, come on. Nice view of the cursor rotating. Do 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 do. Here we are. Give me the same plane. This is the one. I cannot find it. This one. I want the armor though. The Sturmjäger. Just because it sounds so cool. Sturmjäger. Very fear-inducing. A version is called Anton. They started to name their planes nicely, the Germans, near the end of the war. At first they were only numbers, then they got the idea. I kept my aim sight alignment, that's good. How can the plane be already damaged if the match just began? That's the biggest mystery of all, I guess. I don't know about the RPMs you're supposed to keep in this thing, but it's a quick action scenario, I think we don't care. Does that look German to you? Let's play the game of German or not German. Looks American, frankly. It's very hard to identify them from behind like this. To me that's an American plane, or a BF, one of the two. Shall we risk it? Considering we're almost at the end of the stream. Now that's even Russian. In any case, not German. I cannot... Yeah, lower the flaps a bit. That's also Russian and much more in range. Did I get him? Did some damage. Looks like a Russian Spitfire, to be honest. The ones from the Land-Lease program. And he's faster than me at the moment. But look at that. It's strange, it's very slow. I remember this plane to go faster. He's going to get the kill. Frankly, I lack power. Yeah, why doesn't it go? No, okay, it goes to emergency mode, and I better not keep it there. Combat mode is what I want. Combat mode is from 85 to like 90%. Not even that. Between 85 and 88%. Then you go emergency. So you're not supposed to touch the throttle much during combat. Apparently that's a very German idea. I wanted to fly the Dora, but apparently you have to pay for it. That's very logical, I guess. And it's not like the expansion costed little, I mean it. Yet they still want more, these guys. Sometimes it happens with games that have a limited player base and don't employ a freemium model like the one of War Thunder, which is probably the best one for flight simulators of any kind, really. I wonder if I got points from that guy I hit. No, apparently not. First engine combat mode, it's also overheating. Ah, but I can control the car shutters here. That's unlike the other German planes I flew. So let's open them, I guess. I wonder if I can see... No, I cannot see them. But it's very slow. Feels slow in any case. 200 km per hour. Definitely not enough to go up there. It's a bit disappointing, to be frank. And I thought it to be faster. Now I also have to open the cowl, which is going to reduce my aerodynamics further. Still overheating. And yet they seem so dangerous when I met them from the other side. Probably that's a trick I do not understand. Low fuel, it's enough for less than 10 minutes and nominal engine mode. Did they give me a defective Anton or something? How about the RPM? You don't control the RPM. I don't know about this. I increase the throttle, I guess that's something else to do. I like I'm slowly falling. Is this a pedal operated plane? Here's the enemy. Looks enemy-like. And the engine broke. And of course the engine broke. Because I kept it in emergency mode for more than 2 minutes. And that is, sirs, I believe, is the gist of the Dora plane that I have yet to understand. Not the Dora, I mean the Anton. Need alt. Well, I needed everything really. Well, every plane has to be studied in this game. I believe I made a mistake. I should have gone with the Jag or something more familiar for the last part of the stream. But I guess this is also an ending while we peacefully float to the ground, shooting it because why the hell not? Look how the shots bounce in a realistic manner. I believe War Thunder doesn't have that either. And return to the motherland. Safe and sound, maybe. More or less. More or less. A bit overturning. You always overturn your plane in this game if you're not careful. You're running 1080p, but at what bit rate? Now I'll tell you, since we're over. Unfortunately, thank you for commenting, Jasper. I became Facebook... Well, it's not partner. I believe it's like a sort of a light affiliate program. You can activate when you reach 100 followers. And it tells us for a higher quality of the stream. Now I show you the screen telling about it. So it happens when you reach 100 followers in any case. Where is the cursor? And the information page for the scene should come up if I go like this. Let's see if it works correctly. No, because this is how I would view it as a normal user. I have to go to the streaming profile, and here I can see myself, and maybe let's see if it was I remember there was a no, maybe it's too late now. Well, the bitrate I set, I can tell you at least that the bitrate I set in OBS, and I looked at it the other day. Is this where you look at the bitrate? I set it initially, then I forgot about it. It's 7,000, yeah. 7,000 with the... I believe it's called the Facebook Level Up program. Probably you know about it. You're stuck at 720. Yeah, perhaps you have to do this one. Look, I show you. I show you before ending the stream. It's called Facebook Level Up, I believe. It's what most streamers strain to achieve at first. There's a page about it. No, this is not the official page. This is it. Look into this. I think it's only for gamers though, so I don't know if you can activate it for your company's page. You should look into this. That's what allows for the greater quality. You have to reach 100 viewers though. 100 followers for the page won't be a problem. I believe it's not too hard. Okay, so on this final technical note, I guess it's time. That's okay. You can almost assuredly request it. Look into that. It's in the dashboard for the streamers. This one, the one I keep as a chat window. Now it's set to dark mode, but I believe you know it. So, guys, thanks everyone for following. As I said also yesterday, unfortunately I won't be able to play this afternoon. But I'll be back tomorrow morning. I probably will play War Thunder again. Okay, now Nix, you're also helping him, thank you. Unless that is I received a message from the other fan of the page, I always counts as Simone from Italy. I wanted to play rally with me. That would be quite a show, I believe. So if he comes, I guess we might play cars, rally racing with dirt too. I'll try to know it as soon as possible and let you know. In the meantime, goodbye. See you tomorrow. No, it's sorry to interrupt your discussion down there, but I believe you can continue it because this become comment when I close the... Yeah, probably so. Bye guys, see you tomorrow. Ciao from Italy.